Hello ladies and gentlemen, I am Darnock with TGN bringing you another StarCraft 2 1 vs 1 cast. Today we just have a quick ladder replay between two pretty solid foreign players. Now you're going to have to take this a little bit on faith because neither of them are playing under their normal IDs, so let me introduce them now and then translate their names into something that actually makes sense. The map is going to be Metalopolis, a standard Blizzard ladder map. Over in the north we do have the red Terran player Naama. Naama, of course, of European fame. He's Finnish, or I think he's Finnish. Finnish sounds reasonable. He's a European. That's good enough. That's the region of the world he's from. Was very strong in early StarCraft 2, like back in 2010. Didn't really do anything in most of 2011, but near the end of 2011 and beginning of 2012, he's really starting to bring his skill back. So I'm going to be interested to see how he pairs off against his opponent, who's going to be in the right. They're close by air, and this is the blue Zerg Kale. Now Kale is actually Idra's Korean Smurf. Both of these players are on the Korean server, which is of course why Naama has his name in Hangul. That actually roughly translates to Naama as far as I know. Obviously, I don't speak a lick of Korean, which is probably something I should figure out eventually, since I am so ingrained in the StarCraft 2 scene. But that will have to wait. That will not be relevant right now, unfortunately for me, and unfortunately for you. So I'm very excited to see how this does pan out, because on the one hand we have Naama, who has been very strong lately, made it very far in the last few tournaments he has entered, looked pretty scary indeed, and his opponent, of course, Idra, a ZVT master, but I don't think I've really seen any of Idra's games yet, and that's something I want to try and fix, because either the night of recording this or the night after of recording this, I'm recording this on the 30th of January, Idra is going to play his Code A matches, or his first Code A match against a Protoss player, so this isn't going to completely prepare me for that, but it still will give me a little bit of an idea of what to expect from our homegrown American Zerg over here. Aw yeah, America, patriotism, all that good stuff. Both players opening very standard. Idra on the one hand, I have not gone busy, so let's do that. Bam! Brilliant. Idra on the one hand, of course opening with that hatch first, then going into a gas and to a pool. Very standard, pretty safe for the matchup. His opponent is on one gas right now. I think he got that at the normal time. I'm not 100% sure. But I think that was around 13. And he's actually, oh, no, never mind, this is a factory. Gosh darn it, for some reason I thought that was a barracks. And I was like, oh yes, we aren't going to see a reactor Hellion expand. I am so excited. But no, the factory is going to be finishing up here pretty quickly. The reactor is on the way as well. And then, of course, they will switch, and then there will be a reactor Hellion expand. Because that's what's happening in this matchup right now. That's the meta. Now, there is a second gas out, so maybe we'll see Naama switch things up a little bit. Naama is a little bit of an all-in-ish player. He does all-in a little bit more often than the average player does, I would say, especially versus Protoss. He does not like late-game TVP whatsoever. He will try and kill you in that early and that mid-game. He doesn't want to go for a long time at all. Now, and we do see actually a starport on the way here from Naama, so it looks like he might be going for a little bit of cheese. On the one hand, it could just be an old school 1-1-1 build, back when 1-1-1 actually referred to a whole set of builds rather than a particular all-in versus Protoss. So that might be what we're seeing here from our Terran player at the moment. He does have two Hellions out on the field right now. You know what? We're actually going to auto-track them like that. Yeah, I don't even have to hold down on the cursor anymore. And the two Hellions are going to arrive just in time for that Queen and that Spine Crawler to start beating on them. So obviously those Hellions not really doing anything at the outset. And what is this? This is a fusion core, ladies and gentlemen. It does actually get scouted by Idra, and Idra right now, you know he's just scratching his head. He's saying to himself, what's going on? I don't understand. You're building a fusion core at the 5-minute 30-second mark in a TVZ. I don't even, and I'm just as astonished as I'm sure he is, and as sure I am that you are right now, because this is never something I've seen. Apparently Naama taking a page out of Total Biscuit's book and going for that one base battle cruiser opening. So we'll see how that actually works. Now he is going to get some free Zerglings in the middle of the map, so that's good. And Idra's going to have to do something about these battle cruisers. I don't understand why he hasn't quite reacted yet. He is starting to get a pretty good gas income. He's up to 3 gases, so he might be working towards something. I mean, he has 2 choices right now. He can either decide to go for Mass Queen and try to kill the battle cruiser in that fashion, or he could go for a Spire and then get some Corruptors. Hydralisks would also be an option. The problem is he's only just now morphing a lair, and I'm not sure this is actually going to result in being the correct choice, because the lair is not very far finished yet, and then by the time it does finish, he is going to have to build that Hydralisk, then that Spire, maybe an Infestation Pit, but I really don't see that panning out against battle cruisers. So we are going to have to wait and see what Idra does decide to go with here, and I'm actually at the point where I don't even want to commentate this game. I just want to put it on ×4, get to the point where Kale moves out with however many battlecruisers he decides is a good number, and just see what happens, because I really don't understand how this build is supposed to work. Now Idra is continuing to drone. He is starting to get a few lings out on the map. Does have approximately 12 about to finish, including the ones that are out on the field right now, and he did just finish an evolution chamber as well, so maybe he's going to build some spine crawlers, and he does have the Spire on the way. Where is that wily Spire? Where is that thing? Here it is. No, that's a Spore Caller, excuse me. But the Battlecruiser has gone out onto the field. Now it's going to be 3 Queens versus this Battlecruiser. It looks like I have never seen this type of engagement before in my entire life. Apparently what happens is, it looked to me like if the Battlecruiser and the Queens fought on micro, the Battlecruiser might win. However, apparently on creep, I'm just learning this, Queens can out-micro a Battlecruiser. So that's something I'm going to have to log away in my brain area that does have caster's knowledge, because that's not something I knew before. Now it looks like these lings are all going to get cleaned up by the battlecruiser, and I'm kind of... Idra doesn't have a whole lot of combat units right now. I mean, yeah, if we take a look at the army supply, we see it's 14 to 37. I mean, all he has right now are some lings. He has 6 lings on the field. Obviously, he's going to add either Corruptors or Mutalisks. I would assume Corruptors as soon as that Spire finishes. That's usually what you want to get against big, beefy air units like battle cruisers, like carriers, if you ever see them ever, which you won't because they're bad. And, oh wow, that's a lot of SCVs. This is an all-in, and Broodlords as well. And I think here comes the big push, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, we do have that second battlecruiser that just finished. We have a large group of Marines, a couple of siege tanks that do not have siege mode. That is about close to 2/3 of the way done. And oh no, Idra is actually going for the Mutalisks. That's probably a good choice with the situation he's in right now, because even if he kills the 2 battlecruisers, there's going to be a lot on the ground that might be able to finish him off. And I think this battlecruiser all-in from Naama is actually just going to kill Idra, folks. That's really what it's looking like right now. I mean, yeah, he does have 8 mutas out on the field. He has, like, what, 12 lings maybe? Going to throw up that unit step. He does have 6 lings now, which really isn't good. And here is the final fight, ladies and gentlemen. One way or the other, the game is about to end. It looks as if it is going for Naama's way right now. I mean, both of those battlecruisers are still at very, very high health. They're both in the green, and Idra, clearly not pleased with this outcome of events. He's just going to leave the game without the GG. So that was a pretty quick game. I wasn't quite sure what I thought about that when I saw the size of this replay. I was like, well, it's a pretty small replay. Do I really want to waste my time casting this? Obviously, it's not going to be an epic game or anything like that. However, I think I got my money's worth out of this replay. That was a very interesting build. I wonder if this is ever going to be a thing. I really hope that the one-base battlecruiser all-in will slowly move its way into the metagame and become a standard opening. That would make me really happy. Either way, I have been Darnock. Thank you, folks, for watching oh so much. If you enjoyed the video, let's see. What was I going to tell you to do at the end of this video? Oh, yeah. If you enjoyed the video, if you enjoy my casting, feel free to go over to facebook.com/DarnockRiss and like my page. That way you will be kept up to date with all of my videos, StarCraft 2 and otherwise, and just my random thoughts and musings and just, you know, random brain farts and all that good stuff. So thank you, folks, for watching. I've been Darnock with TGN. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.